Hey everybody, Mr. Ling here, and I wanted to do this for, actually this is for my chemistry and my earth science class, how to do unit conversions. And I'm going to write that right up here, unit conversions. This is a vexing thing for a lot of people, and that's really, Mr. Ling can't write very well, so that's why I'm an online teacher. Anyway, this was a tricky thing for me too, and I had my chemistry professor in community college showed me this way of doing it, and it is stuck with me ever since. And so I wanted to share this with you as well. And also my 2 cents, if you're thinking about college, start with community college first because you're going to get a better education and it's cheaper. Take it from me. Okay, so we have 6.7 ounces per minute. Say maybe rate of flow of something, I don't know. And we want to find out, well, how many grams per second is that? How many grams per second? So grams is a unit of mass, right? And we have 6.7 ounces, which is weight. Fluid ounces is a weight technically. So we need to know some conversion ratios here. So for starters, we need to know, well, what's the ratio of ounces to grams, right? Ounces to grams. So I'm just typing in here basically a conversion ratio. 1 ounce is the same thing as 28.3 grams. So what I always do is I write on the side, what do I know? Okay, I'm gonna put that in pink over here. What do I know? What do I know? Well, I know that 1 ounce, I'm going to write this as a ratio, is the same thing as 28.4 grams. Okay, so ounces and grams. So we also need to know minutes and seconds. So those are the things we have on the bottom. This is in minutes, this one's in seconds. So we know off the bat that in 1 minute there's 60 seconds, right? So I'm going to put that as a unit right over here. 1 minute is the same thing as 60 seconds. All right. Now, each of these conversion ratios here, this is 1 ounce is the same thing as 28.4 grams. So the top equals the bottom, right? They're the same value, right? If I had ounces and grams on a scale, right, on a balance beam, they'd even out. Right? If I had 1 ounce or 28 grams, it's the same thing. All right? Same thing as minutes and seconds. If I timed something for 60 seconds, I'd be timing it for a minute. So they're the same thing. So these conversion ratios over here basically equal 1, right? Technically, these equal 1. All right? This is important for my little conversion here. So let's go back over. So what we have to do is we have to take our original value here, 6.7 ounces, right, per minute. So I'm going to write it this way. I'm going to say that 6.7 ounces per 1 minute, all right? I'm going to write it out like that first. And what I want to do is I want to multiply this by one of these conversion factors that's going to give me another part that I need. I need grams and I need seconds. So I'm going to want to multiply this by one of these in conversion rates that's going to, and I'll put the conversion rate in pink again, or whatever color that is. That's this pink. I'm going to use the one that's going to cancel out the units that I don't want, okay? So I'm going to use this first one here. So ounces over grams, right? So I see that I have ounces here, okay? And I don't want ounces in my answer. So if I can write this in a way so that ounces will cancel out, I'll get rid of them and I'll be left with grams and minutes, which is getting me closer, right? I'm adding in grams now. But notice that ounces is on the top here and ounces is on the top here. So if I multiplied it like it is, I'd have 1 ounce over 28.4 grams. And if I multiply this across, I'm going to get my answer on the top here is going to be in ounces squared, right? Which we don't want. That's not going to work. So let me clear that. And let's do this a different way. Again, since each of these are 1, each of these, sorry, get that back and get my pencil. Each of these conversion ratios are equal to 1. So whether I write it as 1 ounce per 28.4 grams or 28.4 grams per 1 ounce, it's the same thing, right? So I'm going to flip it and I'm going to write it this way. I'm going to say, sorry, I'm using my conversion color. I'm going to say 28.4 grams over 1 ounce, okay? And let's choose another color for equals. So now if I multiply these across, what am I going to get? Let's use my calculator here. I'm going to get 6.7 times 28.4. I get 190.28. So 190.28. Now, before I write my units down, notice that I've got ounces on the bottom here, ounces on the top here. When I multiply this across, I'll just write it out so you can see how this works. If I multiply everything out here with my units included, I get ounces times grams. So this is 190.28 ounces times grams, which doesn't make any sense, but don't worry, this is all going to cancel out. And on the bottom, it's just 1 times 1, so that's easy. This is just 1 minute ounce. Okay, I'm keeping all my units there. But again, I got ounces on top, ounces on the bottom. These technically are multiplication, right? So I can cancel these. I cancel out ounces, and I'm left with 190.28 grams per minute. Okay, not done yet, but we're getting close. All right, so I've got my grams. I'm going to underline that. I need to get seconds now. So let's go back to blue. We're going to take 190.28 grams per 1 minute. All right, and we're going to multiply this by a conversion ratio that's going to get our minute to cancel out with something and get to seconds, right? And we've got minutes and seconds right here in this second conversion factor I put up there. So right now, minutes is on the top here, seconds is on the bottom. That's perfect because I've got minutes on the bottom here. So they will cancel out. So we'll write 1 minute per 60 seconds, okay? And I'm just going to do the cross-canceling over here this time. This is a neater way to do it, but I just want you to see over here when I did it this way, why it worked out. But I can cross out my minutes because they're going to cross-cancel. And really, our ones are going to cross-cancel too. It doesn't really matter because they're just ones. They're not going to change anything. And I'm left with 190.28 grams per 60 seconds, right? There you go. So now we need to find out, though, we've got seconds, we've got grams, so our units are good, but our numbers are off because we want to know how many grams per second. How many grams per second? So all we have to do to figure that out is if you multiply this now, we want to get 1 on the bottom, right? So all we need to do here is just divide this into this. So we're going to divide 190.28 divided by 60. I'm going to do that in the calculator too. And where's my calculator? There it is. So 190.28 divided by 60 is 3.17, rounding it off. 3.17. So I'm going to say this over here, 3.17 grams per second. There you go. Hope that helps. Again, the bottom line is if finding out what you know, getting conversions that will be useful. In this case, we wanted to get minutes into seconds. We wanted to get ounces into grams, and then multiplying with those unit conversions so that your units cancel out that you don't want, and you're left with the units that you do want.